I guess one of the productions under Lee Fitting's agenda right now, WWE Raw. And this past week, WWE Raw took place from a city whose name I forget. But it was an interesting show, and they started out pretty hot.
Wait a minute. It was Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon.
Oregon, they were in Piper country.
Paul Revere and the Raiders country.
Well, that too. Actually, no, wasn't that Massachusetts?
No, you see, that's...
I'm talking about the original one.
You're talking about the original outfit, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, Raw on January 8th was from Portland, Oregon. And they're actually not only making Drew McIntyre interesting to me somehow, but they did an opening interview segment that within 15 minutes, I think it was under 15 minutes, 3 times as much as normal was said, and there was a fucking point to it, and it got you interested in what might happen next. Imagine that. So already it's a new day, it's a new way, it's a new time, and they're talking good.
But you're singing like shit. As usual.
I haven't seen any goddamn praise on your singing from the Lee Strasberg Academy or whoever it is up there in New York that teaches that kind of thing.
Lee Strasberg, he's teaching singing now.
Well,
from the grave, by the way.
He could do everything else.
From the grave. He's teaching singing. He went to a whole new career. He went from acting to singing.
Well, every time you hear, ooh, that's Lee Strasberg.
Well, let's talk about this segment and who McIntyre had a problem with.
McIntyre came out and started cutting a promo, and basically he cost himself the match. He didn't win the title last week. Maybe I've been holding myself back. Maybe I need to step away and get my shit straight. And he's milking it. But no, then I realized I didn't lose. Priest cashed in like an idiot. Remember, we didn't watch last week because it was New Year's. What the fuck? But Priest cashed in and cost him the match, and not only didn't win the title for himself, but he cost him the title. He screwed me. And now I'm standing back and I see Cody coming in, getting all this political pull, and Punk coming back and getting welcomed with open arms. Maybe I ought to leave for 9 years and come back and get a hero's reception. And you'll never guess, Brian, what happened then.
I saw the show. I don't have to guess.
Oh, that's true.
I'm afraid what's coming next.
Like Mussolini, he's extra spicy. Because out came CM Punk, and he gets the chance, and etc. And that's what he said. We're in Piper country. He told Drew he should have worn the kilt. They would have appreciated him. And he came out so that whatever Drew had to say, he could say to his face. And this worked. Because Punk got up on the turnbuckle and stretched out like a wise ass, said, go ahead, big mouth, kind of thing. And McIntyre, congratulations, over a month and you're still here and you haven't melted down or self-destructed, but I know the real you. And he listed his grievances from when McIntyre was there before as a kid in need of a leader. And now he tells Punk, I'm your leader now, kid. And then he lets Punk vent his spleen or out of whatever internal organ. And Punk, whereas Drew is a little more heelish with his promo, because that's the direction he's been going, Punk was a little more reasonable and level-headed guy. I never called myself a leader. I just was one. And he put over what McIntyre had done. And then he said, I don't know what you're upset about because I'm kind of following you. Because just like you followed me, I left to find myself or whatever, and then you left. Well, you came back, and now I'm following you. But then and this is the beauty of Punk, is that you can take him any way you want to take him. He says, I'm not a demon. I'm Satan himself. I'm a nice guy till it's time not to be. I'm not here to be a nice guy or make friends. I'm here to win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania. And then you would have thought that would have been, no, Drew fires back up and he tells Punk off, and it was halfway fucking good. Old Drew's got a little fucking bass in him now. And this time he's going to win the Royal Rumble and main event WrestleMania with fans, because remember, he was in the empty arena mania. And it's going to be all for him. And then Punk said, well, before, I'm going to lead by example. I'm going to lead before I knock your teeth down your throat, but only one person can stop me, and it's me, and I got out of my way a long time ago. And he mentions Drew and Seth and Cody. Nobody can stop me from winning the Rumble, but since I'm a nice guy, I'll throw you out last. And boom, and they're under 15 minutes, and that was a lot of shit. It was all good.
You know what's going to happen now. You ever see the movie Commando?
Who was in it?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's his best movie.
Oh, did he go commando?
I don't know what you have in mind by commando, but Arnold Schwarzenegger has an issue with a group of paramilitaries who have kidnapped his daughter. And he threatens the one guy. He goes, "You're funny. I'm going to kill you last." And then he killed him first. And the guy he said to goes, "You said to kill me last." He goes, "I lied." And he kills him. Punk just said, "I'll eliminate you last." Drew's going to be the first person eliminated by Punk.
There you go.
It has to be, right?
Well, now that you've said that.
Commando.
As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about going out and watching that movie now just to find out how the rest of the Royal Rumble's going to turn out.
You see that? And they wear pants in that movie. No one goes commando.
No, you can still, you're wearing pants when you're going commando.
Well, that's true. That is true.
You're not just out there letting the polo ponies roam free. All right, but anyway, but money-making promo here is what I'm trying to say to you.
That's right.
And if they can
get... And a good film.
Thank you. Siskel or Ebert. If they can get Drew McIntyre...
Siebert.
Up into Roman Reigns and L.A. Knight and Cody Rhodes and CM Punk and Randy Orton and Gunther and stars, more stars than there are in the heavens.
It is interesting, though, that, and we've seen a lot of this with AEW and even specifically with Punk stuff, and in a lot of ways, this was similar to some of those Punk segments, like Punk and Eddie Kingston, Punk and Adam Page before, things went haywire. In that, like, there was something going on, but at least here there was, like, a direction. Like, here's a shot. The next line's going to clearly be in kayfabe to bring us back to reality, or the reality of kayfabe. But with Punk, with Drew, you have a couple guys that you could see them getting cheers, you could see them getting boos. It's not like a clearly defined, he's a babyface. Until Punk feuds with a heel, what is he? He's just a guy out there. He can be the devil. He can be Satan. I guess not the devil. Has AEW copyrighted the devil? Can you copyright the devil?
I think God beat him to it. He wrote the whole thing down. He said, I better trademark this shit because it's probably going to get over. But also, they refer to problems they may have had previously in their various meetings when Punk was in the WWE before and Drew McIntyre was having his first run, and personal problems they may have had that you would have to be a smart fan or a very tuned in fan to know the details of. But it doesn't sound out of place because at the same time, they're not beating us over the head with it like a stick where you don't believe that somebody hates the other motherfucker when in one sentence he blurts out, well, remember when you did this and then I said that, you did the other thing and you did that thing and I did the other thing. Yeah, what the fuck? When you allude to some personal slight or transgression that the other person has made, and you can there's heat there. I may need to find out more about this. It sounds more legitimate, right? So that's all I'm saying is that they sounded like two adults that had a fucking issue. And you're right. It is amazing how when Punk gets in segments like this, that's generally what happens.
Good opening to the show.
But anyway, I wish we could say we followed it up with, the wrestling is not as bad as it was at one point on the show, but I wasn't at Finn Balor and Tommaso. I love Tommaso, but they ain't gonna do anything with him. But there was a new look as far as production here with Ciampa and his little buddy same face, as they're walking through the back on the way to the gorilla position to go out, he's cutting a live promo, and then he goes through the curtain and boom, just another little, and that's nothing wrong with that. Last minute comments from the fighters, whatever. Still no announcer, but it's something. But it's a change. But they have a good athletic match, but it's the standard 2 minutes to break. They come back, they wrestle a little while, and then they do the old fucking trip and hold the leg for the baby face. The same face tripped fucking Finn and held his leg, and Tommaso 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Did you watch any of Kofi Kingston and what's Kaiser Wilhelm Ludwig Kaiser? What's his fucking name?
It's what is his name? Kaiser Roll?
Kaiser. Let's just talk a Kaiser.
Does he use the Kaiser Roll as a move?
He should now.
Yeah.
If he doesn't. But they actually halfway got a little fucking realistic heat here. At the finish of the thing, it's a grudge match from last week because they knocked out Da Vinci with the drop kick, right? Remember that?
Right.
And, just standard drop kicks. So this was a grudge match. But finally, they're fighting on the desk, and Kaiser's a great worker. He's just been portrayed as a stooge. But Kaiser tries to gouge Kofi's eyes out, and the referees run out to try to stop him. And Kofi gives Kaiser a big backdrop over the desk, and he takes a nice bump, and then he nails Kofi with the desk chair, and Kofi takes a big bump. And Kaiser ended up putting him on the stairs, and everybody pulled him back, but he ran around the ring and drop kicked Kofi in the head. They kicked it up a notch here. And the people were actually reacting to it halfway like, well, shit, these guys may be blah, but this shit's good. I kind of like that.
I didn't watch the segment because of the way both guys have been booked. I'll see what happens next week. I hate the New Day, so if they're doing something with Kofi without the New Day, I'll check it out. And if they're going to try to make Kaiser serious, and I guess something like this would be the chance, the opportunity to change it up. If he's been booked like a flunky who gets his ass kicked, and the other guy that's there with him, who's booked even worse, gets knocked out, and you could use this as an excuse to make him more of a heel, a serious heel, now's the time, go for it.
He's raging against the machine.
Or the Kofi.
Anyway, 9 o'clock comes, and there in the ring with Michael Cole is Refrigerator Jax. And I immediately started fast forwarding because I can't listen to that voice. It gives me Sable flashbacks, but in the form of a fucking overstuffed recliner couch. But then out came Rhea Ripley. And so I immediately stopped, and I'm going to watch now. And the fans are chanting, "Mommy, Mommy." And I'm not going to... Rhea did a great promo. She's heads above any female promo in the business today. And her body language and facial expressions and inflections it's perfect. And there's this fucking blob that ate fucking Portland standing there absorbing all this. And then, and by the way, I forgot, we've got a women's Royal Rumble too. I should have realized. I try to put it out of my mind every year, but they do it all the time, don't they?
Oh, that'll be fun. They'll bring back some legends from the past.
Yeah. Dinner before dinner for an hour. So anyway...
We'll get to see the Bellas complain about not being invited.
And please, if we don't have to look at Jax, I'll take both the Bellas. As a matter of fact, it looks like she ate both the Bellas. But anyway, so Rhea Ripley says, "Keep your name out of my mouth." Or whatever she...
What?
You know what she...
It wasn't that.
She said, "Keep my name out of your mouth." And the refrigerator spoke in the Sable voice. She should never speak. If they're going to use her as a large killing machine, which she may very well be in real life, at least give her a manager. But she's going to pick Rhea when she wins the Rumble. And I hope to God that doesn't take place. Because I'm afraid... If Rhea Ripley gets hurt, I will never enjoy women's wrestling ever again. But then they followed that up with a girls' tag team match, playa. And then...
That was good. By the way, I did watch that.
Oh, come on.
I got into that by the end, and so did the crowd because it was ridiculous. They hit, how do I describe it? A top rope Frankensteiner. Like the team, I mean, it looked incredible. And the girl kicked out at 2. I couldn't believe it was the most incredible thing I've ever seen any of the women do in a WWE ring. And they kicked, and the girl, and Chelsea Green kicked out at 2. Amazing. Amazing. Should have done a hospital angle. I've never seen any woman in WWE take that move. It looked incredible. 2 count. The match went on another 10 minutes.
2 count. 2 count. See, it can happen anywhere at any time. Explain to me if you can, Lucy. I know we skipped a week and they had a best of show over the holidays. We were trying to get some, if I only had some peace. But now R-Truth is apparently, he wants to be a member of the Judgment Day. He's acting like he's in the Judgment Day. And he did a comedy video where he loves all the Judgment Day, especially Dom and Nick Mysterio. I never met Nick, but hey. And his head is...
I don't know why I got so entertained by this, but I did. I hate to admit it. I did.
But that's what I'm going to ask you. His head is on the pictures of the Judgment Day. He beat JD last week, so now he thinks JD McDonough is out of the Judgment Day and he's in his place. And it's this whole... But this is supposed to be the top heel group. Why do they have a guy that's done comedy for whatever you've seen him for the past 5 years come in and start having him interact with what's supposed to be the top heel group?
I don't know. Unless somehow it's going to go somewhere. I don't know where it could go. But I will admit I was entertained by this. And I usually don't like his stuff. But I think because they are so serious... And he's the exact... Usually it's him being goofy with other goofy people.
Does he have a big buddy that they can kill him and the big buddy can come to try to get even?
A big buddy for R-Truth?
Yeah.
Guy's like 55 years old. Who's his big buddy?
Well, God, does somebody will draw some money?
Has he had a big buddy in WWE? And not really.
Well, that's the thing is...
Vince McMahon.
They've been doing comedy with him for the 24/7 title a few years ago that they do for the internet or whatever, right? I don't know what the fuck's. The point is, he does this. They go to the Judgment Day locker room, and old JD Funko is pissed off, but Priest thought it was kind of funny. But then Rhea steps in, and they're in the back in their lair, wherever it is, with the moody lighting. And so now Rhea says, well, when's somebody going to handle R-Truth? And Priest says, all right, yeah, I'll take care of it. And Finn is pissed off at Ciampa and Johnny Sameface, but Priest is really pissed off at Drew. But Rhea says, I'm going to handle Refrigerator Jax. And Rhea then tells JD to handle Miz. And I'm like, Christ, they're fucking busy. Are they, and if there was, are they getting lazy now? I'm not talking about the talent. I'm talking about the writers. They've got this cool looking group of people, plus JD and Finn for that matter. And they're just putting a camera in their secret meetings where the leader, Rhea Ripley, gives instructions and like, just like that, you handle this guy, you handle that guy, you handle the other guy. Instead of trying to do it any other way, is this laziness on the part of the creative team?
I don't know. It is interesting. I mean, they don't have a lot of heels on this show. You can think of a lot of people that are kind of clear-cut baby faces or are popular. Drew's, I guess, kind of a heel now. But they're heels, and they have a problem with Drew.
When Rhea's a babyface, except when she's with this group, and then they'll still cheer her, but the rest of them, except for Priest, who you can tell is going to kind of branch off on his own. So is there anybody left to dislike anymore?
Well, the problem is in these backstage segments, we get the concerned Rhea Ripley. Now, she's good at it, but again, she's a tough, bad mommy in one thing, and then she's like, Priest, I'm really worried about you. You're like, what is this backstage? And then everything's like, I'm the leader. Dominic, I'm the leader.
She's a compassionate dominatrix. she'll stop on yellow.
I will say they got me with the Nick Mysterio. That cracked me up. It's just such a ridiculous throwaway thing, and it really is funny. Hey, Dominic, what's your problem? Every Rhea. It's just them talking to each other, but they always have to say the person's name because that's the way you do wrestling TV.
Oh, yeah, it's part of good television. Well, anyway, that's what's going on with them right now. And then we followed that up with The Miz, who is now a raving babyface, after being the loudmouth, fucking whiny, bitchy, conniving, cutthroat, whatever the case. Now he's a fun-loving babyface, and he wrestled JD Funko. And R-Truth came to ringside, and somehow the story that the announcers were telling was that R-Truth distracted JD and Dominic, even though he was just standing there not really doing anything, and then Miz beat JD. And then R-Truth held Miz's arm up, and the rest of the Judgment Day in the back was pissed. And that was the...
And that's what we need. The Miz and R-Truth being the team to go after the Judgment
Yeah.
Day.
So anyway, the promo that people were long awaiting that we were about to come up on, that it wasn't just a 1 week thing with old Jinder Mahal, or was he gonna get a shot? And Seth Franklin Rollins comes to the ring, and so immediately I start fast forwarding. But as soon, all of a sudden, right at 10 o'clock, here comes Jinder Mahal, and I said they're gonna give him a chance at this. This might continue. And he comes out again. He's in the suit, and he's a big motherfucker. You know, he's got the size going for him. And the first thing he says is, I was more revolutionary last week in 5 minutes than you have been, Seth Rollins, the revolutionary, in 5 years. And I'm thinking, boy, he's really going to tee off on him now. And Brian, they backed up on it. Could you tell they backed up on it?
What do you mean by that?
Because
on the anti-American stuff?
The anti-American. Last week, he set it up perfect for Rock, and that's why the people got wet, and he started getting some rumblings. This week, he still did a good job with what he delivered, but he threw away kind of some stuff like, oh, Portland, your streets are full of degeneracy, and Seth Rollins, you want to entertain these clowns and push their agenda of degeneracy or whatever. You got degeneracy on every street corner. What is degeneracy? What is a bunch of people whacking off like in San Diego? It'd be cold this time of year in Portland. Bum fucks. That's where that ought to be a video series where you just go around and see if you can find video of bums fucking on the streets.
That should not be a video series, no.
But he was bitching because Seth wouldn't give him a title shot. And he was just talking like, oh, and you people are... It almost sounded like he was going in the right to censor fucking mode. You see what I'm saying? And it was fine. It was okay. But it really didn't get heat like last week. And there was some minor whatting and some level of indifference to this. And I know it's because The Rock was in the ring last week and not... But still, it was a difference in the material. He didn't go for anybody's throat as far as you American swine. And that's what I was hoping I'd see.
I didn't think they were going to do it a second time like that because I didn't think you could. It was kind of one of those things, get it all out one time, because if it continues week after week, it's going to cause problems by week 3. And they toned it back so it is a little bit more like, almost like the Dutch Mantel faction years ago. They have problems with what's happening, but they're not just coming out and saying the national anthem in another language.
But see, that's another example of what I've always said. That's why wrestling shouldn't be on national television.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, there isn't too much other television nowadays other than that. But the other thing is, I thought it was a good promo. Again, not every crowd's going to be the same. I believe they wanted him to go out there and get as much heat as possible to make the Rock thing as wonderful as it was for Rock.
Oh,
fans.
yeah.
So you're not going to do that every week because then
I'm not saying same thing. I'm saying say something different in the same vein.
Hey, him calling out Rollins was good. Now, Rollins has been called out by a few guys in promos in the last year, but I thought this one was one of the more interesting Rollins things. And there is a little bit of history with these two, as we talked about earlier from Tony Khan's tweets. I'll tell you, Tony Khan's getting Jinder Mahal over more than WWE is even at this point.
Well, yeah, as a matter of fact, think about this. Tony Khan has gotten Cody Rhodes and Jane Cargill and CM Punk and Jinder Mahal ready to fucking make some real money in the business and main event for the big boys.
Watch the next time WWE runs Jacksonville. Jinder Mahal is going to be in the fucking main event. I promise you that. Watch that happen. But this was good. Again,
it was good promo, yes.
Yeah, but the other thing, he got beat by The Rock. You had to do something to get everyone's mind. You got reintroduced to him. You didn't like him. Then it became The Rock's moment. You're going to use him again the next week. You had to do something to get people's mind off the fact he got his ass kicked.
Well, so what'd they do?
Well, he let Rollins know that he doesn't like him.
And then they kicked his ass. Because I swear to God, they had the good promo and Seth fucking, or he had the good promo, and then Seth responded by saying, yes, I agree, you've been overlooked. It was on purpose. And he verbally dismissed him like he was a job guy and told him off for getting up in his face. And then he dared Jinder Mahal over and over, hit me, hit me, hit me. And Jinder wouldn't do it, even though he's standing there with 2 inches or 3 inches and fucking 40 pounds or whatever on him. And finally, when, as a heel would, when Seth turns his back, then he fucking hits him, gets 5 seconds of heat, and Seth fights back, and Jinder Mahal rolls out to escape his wrath. And that was the end of that. If he'd have goddamn dared him to hit him, and then he had tried face to face, and Seth had ducked and fucking hit him with a flurry and a big boom and took a bump and come up, and somehow the guy had just fucking kicked him in the balls, poked him in the eye, and then give him a pile driver and drop him on his fucking head and spit on him, then I'd like to see that. But now I don't give a fuck. Because he got told off and beat up by The Rock, and that got him a lot of attention. And then he comes out to challenge this fucking champion, and he gets told off and beat up again. Who the fuck is writing this shit?
Paul Levesque. Hey,
then what the... Seth can't get beat up for a week or two, and then he can come back and beat him up then when they pay for it, or the premium live event?
What do you think of the fact that a few times now, the crowd either kind of groans a little or just stays silent, like awkwardly, when Rollins says that over the last year he's established his belt as being the most important belt in wrestling? He did it again here, and like the crowd's just like, no, that's not true.
Nobody agrees. Because it's not. And it's Romans. And that's been the thing we've said since the start. They were going to think that, and they still think that. And we think that, because everybody thinks that. This is a belt they made up and put it on a guy after a tournament on TV or whatever the fuck. So but anyway, thanks for coming, Jinder. We barely knew ye, but I don't really see what threat he is at this point, or I don't see him getting stabbed in the future by an angry fan like I would have last week if they'd have kept this going.
Well, I don't think they wanted that kind of reaction. That's not WWE-like, but let me ask you this. Considering this happened, and then the Tony Khan outburst about Jinder happened after this, do you think that affects the way they use him next week or going forward?
Well, I think they've still probably got something planned for him. It's just not going to work like it would have if they'd actually made him credible this week. Maybe he's going to come back next week and fucking just beat the shit out of Seth. I don't know, but I think the time was there. They should do it when it was there.
They should have him get a lot of money and buy that bag off CM Punk, and next week just reveal the AEW championship and hold it in the air. What do you think of this, Tony?
Hey, I'll tell you what, with Jinder Mahal, because the people that you're going for with the foreign menace, they're gonna be sitting there going, he's one of them Arabs, right? We don't like him. What about do what the Iranian assassin did in Tennessee. Old Jack Cougar. He worked preliminaries for Bruiser as Jack Cougar. His real name was Jack Kruger. He got into business driving Bruiser's ring truck.
He was the sketchiest looking referee in WWE history. I was a fan of that guy.
Yeah, because he would drive the ring truck for them after that. But in 81, 82, he worked as the Iranian assassin here in Tennessee because that was during the hostage crisis or right after and all that shit. And there was the oil embargo and gas prices. All that shit had been in the news for several years. And he would come out. He had the fucking chic curly-toed boots and he had the fucking headdress that he would wear, but he just wore black tights and he had one word written on the ass of his tights, oil. And you motherfucker. Every time people filled up at the gas station, they'd think of you no good son of a bitch. But yes, Tony's tweets have gotten gender over. I think his own company should support him a little better by letting him beat the shit out of somebody here before too long. But apparently they're getting the tweets, but they're not getting the message. You know, Brian, that's a problem sometimes. You can get your tweets, but you don't get the message. And you know what? Sometimes people pay a fortune to get these tweets and messages. But if you don't get your tweets, you don't get your messages, and especially if you don't get your phone calls, well, you're just up shit creek without a paddle, as Mama Cornette used to say.
That's right, with a non sequitur.
Well, she never rode in a canoe with one of those type of people, whether it was up shit creek or any other one. She would stay away from low-class individuals like those non sequiturs.
Would Mama Cornette have a cell phone?
Only reluctantly that she would keep in her car, as I do, in case she was late or got lost and needed directions, or in case of emergency. She was a big in case of emergency person. Otherwise, I think once every 3 days, the phone in this house would ring when she lived here. Once every 3 days, you'd hear the phone ring, and she'd go, well, who the hell can that be? Why can't people leave me alone?
Well, I guess to talk about this, a lot of people don't want to be left alone. They want to talk to their friends and family or text them or tweet them, whatever it may be. And for those who are social and want to be in touch with people, we have a wonderful friend to tell you about.
Well, that's because I said you got to get the tweets, you got to get the messages, and you got to get the text, and you got to get the picture. You really got to get the picture, and that's what you can get all of that with Mint Mobile for only $15 a month. Now, you may be paying hundreds and thousands and tens of thousands of dollars, from what I understand, for your wireless plan. That's because everybody's got to have a computer in their pocket these days. Well, if you're one of those people, and by the way, you know, they've proven, it's been scientifically proven that if you have a cell phone to the side of your head for long enough, that the radio waves will rewire your brain and you'll become addicted to Cheetos and want to stand on your head in a pile of shit all the time. That's been scientifically proven.
And it absolutely has not been scientifically proven or any other way proven. That is not a fact.
But that's why Big Wireless got together. They're sending signals to your brain to buy their products. That's why only a brainless nitwit would pay hundreds of dollars a month for a wireless plan when you get it from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. Don't let Big Wireless send impure thoughts into your brain courtesy of your cell phone. Go to Mint Mobile. They don't have a thought amongst them. And that's why they're selling this stuff for so cheap. $15 a month when you get a 3-month plan. Well, that's 3 months for $45. That's 33 1/3% per month. And that's for unlimited talk, text, and data. And you can't beat that unless you just don't talk to people, which is a preferable thing to do, but something that most people can't accomplish. So Mint Mobile will rescue you with premium wireless plans for just $15 a month. Say bye-bye to the overpriced wireless plan. You get unlimited talk, unlimited text, unlimited high-speed data. It's going to come at you fast. So if you don't have anything to cover up with, get a garbage can lid or something, or just duck under a piece of furniture, because they're going to be yeeting this shit at you, this data, as fast as they can. And it's the nation's largest 5G network. And they got that going for them. What does that mean, Brian?
That means for every one George Wells of another phone company, they have 5.
Well, Master G, the
5G.
largest Master 5G network, and you can use your own phone. if you want that thing anymore after it's been contaminated by big wireless.
Well, no, the phone is fine. You could use your phone. Let's not mislead people and make them think they're going to have to go do something different. You could use the phone you have now.
Dip it in some peroxide or some formaldehyde.
Do not do anything like dipping it in any sort of solution or water that will kill the phone.
Well, you want to, wasn't how you want to kill the germs. You want to de-germanize that thing.
But you don't do it by dipping the whole thing in peroxide. That would kill the phone. You have to get a peroxide pad and maybe rubbing alcohol.
I would say spray it liberally over the screen. And folks, again, you can bring your existing contacts along with you. If you have contact with people, they'll have to take a short sexually transmitted disease test to make sure that they won't contract others. But then you can bring your existing contacts on over to this plan. And again, $15 a month right now if you go to mintmobile.com/JCE. $15 a month on that 3-month plan. Unlimited everything, all the time. Guaranteed. At mintmobile.com/JCE. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. You can see Mint Mobile for details. We don't have those here.
No, we don't. But once again, Mint Mobile, we thank them for joining the show. Great service. Once again, what's that promo code, Jim?
Well, it's a /JCE.
/JCE.
You just go to mintmobile.com and then you slash the JCE. A lot of people have been using extra sharp knives on their computers, and that's causing damage with the screens. We suggest you don't slash the JCE that way.
Certainly not, and hopefully no one would. I don't know why anyone would, but let's slash our way back in the Raw. Hopefully we're almost done with this show.
Well, we certainly are, because then we had Otis and Ivar for Plowboy Frazier's old super heavyweight championship belt that he had made for himself. And then we came to the main event, and real briefly, I'm sorry I can't get shaky Nakamura. I cannot. And especially not only the way he's been presented, but just the way he looks is off-putting to me, with the jerking and the spasming about on the entrance, and the fact that, again, he looks so frail. And I'm afraid that every time he falls down, he's going to bust into fucking clouds of dust and a hearty hi-yo shaky.
This is ridiculous. He's not frail. He's a healthy gentleman. I don't know why you keep focusing on...
Well, I mean, for heaven's sake.
You make him sound like a 95-year-old man with a cane who's bent over.
The AARP people are waiting to take him as a spokesperson if he'd just go ahead and retire. Anyway, they had 25 minutes of a street fight with Cody Rhodes and Shaky Nakamura. And as a good reporter, I decided I'd skip to the finish to see who won, or if anything pithy and pertinent happened. And by the time that I made that notation, they had gone back to the entranceway for no good reason, fought back to ringside, and fought everywhere but the ring, and introduced a kendo stick into play. And so I said, well, fuck, I'll go ahead and fast forward this thing. And I did, and I was trying to go to the finish, as I said, to see who would win. And I accidentally looked down at my notes, and it went too far, and it fucking went to the end of the thing, and I would have had to have started it and fast forwarded all the way through again. And I didn't want to do that, so I looked it up online, and Cody won. There you go.
And there you go. Nakamura not going to get a chance from Jim. I like the graphics. They had very cool visuals all throughout the show building up this match. And they were both hoping you would watch it. They let me know. They said, we hope Jim gives us a fair shot.
Well, I'm sure Cody did, but Shaky sent you a video in Japanese with English subtitles asking for that, correct? Because that's his motif.
Which I appreciate, because that means I can watch it on mute and just do something else in the background and just read what's being said. But
I look at it the other way. I'm like, if a guy's going to do an interview, I want to be able to not have to look at every second of the screen to know what the fuck's going on. I don't want to read the interviews.
Well, we won't have to. And that was it. Cody versus Nakamura, and that was it. WWE Raw. We'll see. There's a few interesting things to see what happens next week, but